Check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 in the place to be. We 4 minutes early tonight. Like I'm not playing tonight, man. I don't have no time. I couldn't wait 4 minutes. It's 9:27 on the dot, which is dope because if you know me, you know that's my tat on my arm. So without any further ado, I go by the name of Doggie Diamonds. This is Doggie Diamonds TV, Doggie Diamonds No Filter podcast. The audio will be on iTunes. Everything I do, I just do what this do. So I just do what I do. So every night, the past week and a half, I've been on here live, bringing on legendary people. Now this man hit me one time on Facebook. And when a lot of times when people hit you on Facebook, they're under their real name. So you almost have to look at their picture and wonder who they really are. So when he looked, I seen the name. I'm like, well, the name looked familiar. But then when I looked, I'm like, yo, this is Mikey D. Now, many people don't know who Mikey D is. They're probably like, who is that? So my job is to bring forth hip-hop legends, people who contributed to the culture that you might not have known what they've done for the culture, but you need to know who they are. The backstory, history is our biggest teacher. History makes sure we don't repeat certain things, and history is what brings us here today. So without any further ado, let me bring the man of the hour on the screen. We have, introduce yourself to the people. I'll be quiet.
Yo, Doggie Diamonds, salute, baby.
Finally, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Mikey D in the building, man. Queens, New York, Merrick Boulevard, LA Posse, New Music Seminar, Main Source, LL Cool J. Forget Vlad, who's that again? But anyway, you know how we do it, man. I'm here, baby.
We gonna go through it. So where are you from exactly?
I'm from Laurelton, Queens, man. That's a part of like Jamaica, Queens, Springfield Gardens area, 718.
L-Town.
Yeah, exactly.
L-Town, yeah.
Yeah, L-Town, exactly.
So you're from Queens, and what year is this that you living in Queens? Because I don't know if you mind telling your age, but you a little older than a lot of us. So what year is this you in Queens?
Yeah, well, I've been in Queens all my life. I just turned 23, a couple of weeks ago. I just turned 53. I've been living upstate for going on 9 years now. Okay. But prior to that, I've been in Queens all my life.
Dope.
The same area of Queens, from the time I was born in Queens General Hospital to the time I moved up here. I was right there in Laurelton, Queens, and in Rochdale Village. So,
wow,
yeah, that's my stomping grounds.
So, who did you grow up with in Queens?
Man, I grew up with a lot of people. Like, you mean as far as in the industry?
Artists, yeah, artists that the people might know, because they don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, Lot Picasso, MC Lotto, the Clientele Brothers. We got LL Cool J used to be around us, when we were young. We were about maybe 13, 14, 15, and somewhere in that area when his name was Jay Ski. He used to come around and hang out with me.
LL name was Jay Ski?
His name used to be Jay Ski originally.
Wow.
And we had two mutual friends in a school that was talking about who the best rappers were that they knew, and Jay Ski's friend, I think his name was Mellow C, Cal or something like that, Cool Cal, Mellow C, was arguing with my man Dave Molicio, and I was his favorite. Jay Ski was Cal's favorite, so they kind of linked us up. We were supposed to battle at the spot called Roller Castle in Elmont. And when we linked up, I was kind of impressed by the similarities that we had, because L was dope, and I thought at that time I was the only young dude on that level.
And what age is this? But what age are y'all at this time?
Man, we got to be at least, like I said, like 13, 14, 15, between 13 and 15. Because the Roller Castle was the little hangout. back then, where everybody used to go. And so me being young, I was already making tapes and rocking the parks because I had training from the Clientele Brothers. The
Mm.
Clientele Brothers, these brothers, Eddie OJ and Will Seville, these dudes was like the equivalent of Cold Crush in the Bronx. Clientele Brothers was them in Queens, and they were a little older than me, and I had the opportunity to be adopted by these brothers because I was young doing it. And
Mm-hmm.
then, for me to meet LL Cool J, well, Jay Ski at the time,
Jay
and for
Ski,
him
right?
to sound so similar to me, it bugged me out. So instead of battling, we hit it off and just became friends and stuff like that. And then I remember when he came to me, when he changed his name to Cool J. Now, mind you, I was Playboy Mikey D at the time. I was
Mm.
about that life with the girls and all of that, had the waves and the pretty eyes and stuff. So when he changed his name to Cool J, I was like, yo, you should get something in front of your name too, something like Playboy, man, like, ladies love or something, blah, 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 whatever. It was a suggestion, and that's where the LL came from.
Whoa. So
Yeah.
Mikey D is telling us live on Doggy Dimes TV. He suggested that Jay Ski take that turn into Cool J, put LL in front of his name.
Well, I didn't say the LL. I said
Ladies
Ladies
love.
Love.
Oh.
Yeah, when he signed with Def Jam, I think he was saying that Rick Rubin and them thought that the name was too long, but he didn't want to get rid of it, so he just shortened it to LL. But LL stands for Ladies Love. So we was like, Playboy Mikey D, Ladies Love, Cool J, and we wanted to be pretty boys and get all the girls, but be nice with the rhymes at the same time, and that's how that happened.
Wow. So did y'all ever battle?
Now we never battled. We never battled. We just basically critiqued each other, man. We built a relationship to whereas we were always in competition when we were writing and stuff like that, but we never battled each other. Actually, that was my thing. And he'll tell y'all to this day that when it came to the battles and we used to go to the ciphers, he used to just let me run through them because
Mm.
he didn't even have to go, man, because that was my thing. And so yeah, that's how that went, man.
Do people sleep on his battle skills?
Absolutely, man. They think, that LLL is just, a sex symbol and wants to attract the girl. They don't know he gets busy.
Jack
Like
the
I said,
Ripper.
when I
Jack
first
the
met,
Ripper.
yo, I'm trying to tell you, man, even prior to that, he was nasty. I mean, I heard some joints that he didn't even release that's just crazy. You know what I
Mm.
mean? But, you know, it's a business. And like where LL and Cool J is at right now is where he wanted to be when we were young. You know what I'm saying? So he had to take those steps to get there. So, but he definitely has that battle rap in his arsenal.
Somebody asked in the chat room, is this Mikey D from the LA Posse? Absolutely, this is Mikey D from the LA
Yes,
Posse. So
absolutely.
who is the LA Posse?
LA Posse now, a lot of people get it mixed up with the LA Posse from California, Daryl Pierce and them brothers over there in Los Angeles. What happened was originally, now when I was in Queens on Merrick Boulevard, we had a crew and it was called Boom Bash. You know what I mean? So I was like the rapper for Boom Bash. And these brothers, they used to lift weights and all of that. And they were like security and they held Laurelton down. And when it came time to make records, my management and the labels didn't think that it would be, wise for us to use the name Boom Bash on records because of street things, so they
Mm-hmm.
wanted us to change the name. And so we came up with LA Posse because anybody from Queens that's familiar with Lawton, they know that's LA.
Mm.
And back then, a posse was your crew.
Your crew,
So it
yes.
was the same people just under a different name. So the LA Posse was that. But the main musically, the main three was myself, my DJ Johnny Quest, and we had the legendary Paul C. McCasty was the one that did our tracks.
You know, I know who Paul C is.
Huh?
You know, I know who Paul C is. I love the world. Listen, man, I wish one day somebody said Boom Bash, rest in peace, Dallas. Do you know what that means?
Yes, Dallas.
Okay.
I named Dallas D Train.
Somebody says
Yes,
shout out to Big Phil and Pitt also. This is what they're
Big
saying in the chat.
Phil is one of Big Phil and Supreme. Those are the originators of Boom Bash. Pitt is Big Phil's little brother. Salute to the whole Boom Bash crew. Yes, they
Somebody
know what
named
they're talking about.
Colleague Bolden Day is saying this in the chat room.
Yes,
So they
absolutely.
know.
Salute. Yeah,
But
yeah.
Paul C was one of the original. Paul C actually taught Large Professor, right? We'll get into that later on, but he taught Large Professor, and he was a white dude who was
Right,
nice on the SP 1200,
right.
and he also produced
SP12.
SP 12. Yeah, they didn't have the disc drive,
That's right.
but he's most popular for. You might know his production for Super Lover C and Casanova Rud. He did that music.
Well, actually, I think Casanova Rod did the music. I think Paul C engineered Supernim. He was also a dope engineer. He produced a lot, but
Yeah.
due to James, I think Super and Casanova Rudd produced the track, but Paul C did the engineering on that. But
Yeah.
you're absolutely right of who you're talking about.
Somebody says shout out to Monty and Lorenzo too. They just naming the name.
Monty, whoa,
Yeah,
yeah,
whoever this is in the chat room, they know you very well, and
yeah,
they
they
know the
know
crew. Yeah.
exactly. So they know the truth, you
So
know.
you grew up with LL, and if y'all are 14, he gets a record deal like a year later or something like that because he got on when he was 15. I Need a Beat was 15, right?
Right. See, and what happened, the thing with that is, I remember LL getting that contract with Def Jam. Now, in those days, everybody knew me for being up at Poppin' Kim's. If I had $1.50 left in my pocket, that $1.50 was going to an ice cold 40. LL Cool J, when he was with us, if he had $1.50 left, he was going to get on the bus or the train and he was going to try to make some things happen. That was just him. He wanted to be a superstar. Me, I just wanted that street credibility. I wasn't thinking about money and all of that. That wasn't my thing. It wasn't my dream. That was Cool J's dream.
Mm.
Now, when he first got the contract with Def Jam, he came around the way. He told me and him could be the next Run DMC.
Mm. So y'all
But
was
that
supposed to be a
wasn't.
group?
Yeah, that's what he wanted to do, man. But I just wasn't with it. You know
Mm.
what I mean? It wasn't like I wasn't prepared, but that just wasn't my thing. And I didn't really believe it could happen like that.
Mm.
But he showed otherwise. And that's where a lot of our discrepancies and this rivalry started coming in because a lot of people knew me for rocking out in those parks and all of that, and they didn't really know Jay Ski at the time. They just knew he started coming around, so they assumed that he took my style
Mm.
and ran with it, which wasn't true because what I said was when we first met, I was surprised off of how similar we sounded, how much we sounded alike. You know what I'm saying? So he already had that when we linked. And then the big thing was when they said that he bit was when he said, forget Oreos, eat Cool J cookies.
Mm. What does that mean?
Now, well, I when I was rocking in the parks, I had a rhyme that said, I am Imperial Pro Material. Kids all over eat Mikey D cereal. So people tried to compare the two and say that he bit it from that. But remember, we were hanging together. So
Mm.
if I said something fly and we together, he's going to say something fly to match it. It's not about fighting. It's about complimenting your partner.
Got
You
you.
know what I'm saying? But people didn't look at it like that. And with me, drinking 40s and, keeping it real and all of that, I fell into that trap because I knew I was dope lyrically. I battled anybody, But then you got people in your ears like, oh, you can't touch him. You let him take your style and run. And, so of course
So
I
you
fed
did
into,
spit a dart though, because I remember a line from
yeah,
you. Was it
yeah,
was it forget Cool J eat Mikey D cereal, right?
I said, forget the cookies, eat Mikey D cereal.
I remember that,
Actually,
and I
I
was
threw a
little,
couple of
and I
darts.
remember that. I remember that.
Yeah.
That's where I really knew you from, because I was like, yo, he dis LL. So what made you finally go in the booth and release that line?
The peer pressure, the
Got you.
peer pressure, and actually, the success of that song, and me being in a bitter place, and knowing what inspired that line. So I had to let my line be known too. And believe it or not, when I came out with the Mikey D cereal, they, people that didn't know the history thought I bit it from him. You know what I mean? So that was like, that was something around the way type of thing. And that, that's all that was, man. I had to prove I was dope, man.
Did y'all ever get a chance to kick it and be cool after them diss lines and all that?
Well, we got cool. Actually, the first time he bought a contract around was when he first got signed to Def Jam and said we could be the next Run DMC. And then, a few years after the disses was going back and forth, he started a record label with Marley Marl,
Rock the
and it
Bells?
was
Was it Rock the Bells?
nah,
Uncle
it was
Records?
it was Elmar Records, but it was around that same time.
Okay.
It was around that same time because I know he bought me a contract and he had another group. They were singers,
Mm.
and it was us, it was me and the singers, and we were all at his crib in Dix Hills, and he was, breaking it down. So he definitely came back to me again, and then again, I declined. You know what I'm saying? It's
Wow.
just, I can't blame him, and I can't say that he never tried to come back for me. It's just I'm a stubborn dude, and back then I couldn't be tamed, and there were things, especially with a non-negotiable contract, I
Mm.
just couldn't sign anything. And, that was that. He wasn't trying to jerk me or nothing like that. It was just business that I didn't understand at the time. You know,
What what
it's
what
all good. You
famous
learn.
lines? What famous lines that we know that he might have spit at you? Did he spit something back at you after you came at him?
The one thing he never did was say my name, but
Mm.
he did throw some darts because that record where I said forget the cookies, eat Mikey D cereal was called I Get Rough.
Mm.
Then on one of his records, he came out with a joint called Gets No Rougher.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Then I had a record called I'm Coming in the House. Then he had a joint called This Is How I'm Coming.
Yeah, I remember you coming.
So
Yeah,
yeah. So
this is how coming was way later though. That was way later though.
yeah, but there were always these little jabs
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
people who knew, like my man Mark the 40 Killer, he could probably tell you every one of the jabs that all of the darts that L threw.
Mm.
And I definitely threw a lot in his direction too. But the only difference was I said his name,
Mm. Mm.
because I wish I was wanting him to say my name, so we could have took it to another
Yeah,
level
yeah, yeah. That
with the
would have been good
battle
for
thing,
you.
not physical. Back
Yeah,
then,
yeah,
it was all about comparing notes and just getting busy, man. But that's my brother. I love him, man, because I learned a lot from that
yeah.
episode, man.
Did you know Russell and running them?
Yeah, because actually, Run had a cousin named Chantel, used to be my girlfriend,
Wow.
and I remember when they had sucker MCs out, and my girlfriend Chantel had a party, and DMC came through, and Jam Master Jay was down there, and I was the type of dude. I didn't care who you was. I'm. You want to battle? We could battle right here. So DMC, he was talking trash. We just gonna wait for my man Run and this, that, and other. I said, matter of fact, we could take it to the park. And at that time, there was this park called 231. That was my stomping grounds.
Mm.
And Tape Master B, Amazing D Wit, they was out there, you know. And sure enough, I left my girlfriend's party. I went to the park, and I was waiting for Run DMC, man. I got on the mic. I called him out. That tape still floats around to this day.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
and Russell Simmons also. Russell Simmons called my house and asked me to come down to the office and talk to him. This is when L was already popping. You know what I'm saying? And he wanted to sit down, so I went down there and they introduced me to Leo, this, that, and other. Me and my man KCB went down there, and it was just it didn't feel right. You know what I'm saying? It was like what would have happened with me is I would have been shelved until LL lost traction. You know what I'm saying? Like until his fire burnt out a little bit, and then they would have threw me out there because we sounded so much alike. You know what I mean? And I really wasn't with that because if I'd have waited for his fire to burn out, I'd still be waiting until right now.
because the fire never burned out.
It never went out.
Yeah. So when you say it didn't feel right, was it any other thing? Because it was always speculation with the Def Jam thing that it was just a lot of weird stuff going on. Did you sense any of that when you went there?
Nah, I didn't sense any of that. I didn't stick around long enough. You know,
Got
that
you.
meeting was it. And then I just went on, I went on my own path. I wasn't really making records and all of that, man. I was so used to making tapes and just doing it my way. I didn't want people telling me what to do, but the opportunities kept coming.
Got you.
So I was like, you know what? We might as well take a shot because it might work out to whereas it'll go the way we want it to go.
Yeah.
So let's take a chance.
So Mikey Destruction, how did you get that name?
Mikey Destruction was off of actually that came from a record called Bust a Rhyme Mike. I took a jab at LL on that too. I said, I can live without my radio. Cool J take a hike. The only thing I can't live without is my mic. I've been rapping for years. But at the very end of that record, I said, all MCs are headed for corruption. From now on, call me Mikey Destruction. And that was in 1986.
Whoa.
That was at Busta Rhyme Mike. Paul C produced the track. It was on the flip side of my telephone. And Mikey Destruction was born then because I was yelling and I was in my bag on that, So Mikey Destruction was born then.
So did you see when MC Shan mentioned you?
Yes, I did on
Vlad and Vlad was like, who?
Who's that?
What all right, what for the people who don't know, what context did Shan mention you?
It was who was his top 5 rappers.
Wow. So Shan put you in the top 5. How did you feel when you heard that?
I was honored, man.
Was you surprised though?
I was super surprised, Shan is my dude, I love that dude. He's one of the realest motherfuckers you could meet. You know what I'm saying?
Gangsta at 1.2. Gangsta at 1.2.
He is super real. But my man, because I wasn't effing with Vlad, that. Because anyway, my man Travis Jacobs, who's a talented actor, he told me, he said, yo, Shan just shouted you out, son. And he sent me the link and I'm checking it out. Like he said, who's your top 5 rappers in Queens? That's what he said.
Got you.
And LL was his top one.
Mm-hmm.
Then he said Mikey Destruction. And then Vlad said, who's that? I'm like, the nerve of this mother effer, man. Like, you know what I mean? How dare you insult me like that, man? You know what I mean? Like, you call yourself a hip-hop journalist and you don't know who Mikey D is? Your hip-hop card should be revoked. You know what I mean? And it's not the first time that my name was mentioned on your platform, you jive time turkey.
Wait, yo, when somebody call you a jive turkey, that's at one point that was the illest diss ever. Because I remember watching old 70s movies when I was little, and they call you a jive turkey movie, or they just say you jive. So do you feel like
my brother Eddie OJ will call you a turkey in a minute? Watch out for him.
Do you feel like he lacks the certain hip hop knowledge that he needs to be a journalist?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I
Okay.
mean, and the sad thing about it is, the first time, I was a little disappointed, but at the same time, I said, let me be professional about this, and I gathered all of his contacts, and I tried to reach out and introduce myself
Mm-hmm.
as a gentleman, as a businessman, to allow him to meet me and get a full understanding of who I am. This guy didn't even have the common courtesy to hit me back, or at least send somebody else to reach out. It was a lack of respect. You know what I mean? And then Grandmaster Caz mentioned me on the same platform
Mm.
because I think Kaz was talking about battles and how battle rap has evolved, and he talked about Busy B and Kumo D. Then he talked about Mikey D and
Mm.
Melly Mel. So it's not like you don't know who I am. It's just you don't want that information. So I F Vlad, man. He's out of here.
Wow, wow, wow. So even when you try to hit him and say, "Yo, I'm the guy that everybody keep talking about," he was like, "Whatever."
I got no response from Vlad. Nothing from him.
Wow. That's crazy. So you think do you think at the end of the day it's just you didn't have enough sensationalism for him? He couldn't sell you because you would have had to come and say, "Yo, I'm Mikey D, FLL Cool J." Do you feel like that's what happens with certain platforms? Like you didn't have nothing to sell, basically.
Yeah, basically, I guess he wants industry and not in the street. You know what I'm
Got you.
saying? If the streets could tell you who I am, the industry, you know, they can't make no money off me.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
won't
yeah.
allow it. You know what I'm saying? So
Um,
it's all good.
so it was a point where I heard of you when I was younger. You had some records out there,
Yeah,
and then Main Source breaks up, right?
right.
Which
Hmm.
hurt my heart, because I thought the music was over. When EPMD breaks up, I'm like, oh man, there's no more EPMD. I didn't know that Eric Sermon would go on to be this great Eric Sermon. PMD would be the PMD. So when groups break up, I was always sad. Main Source breaks up,
Right,
and Large Professor leaves the group, and he disses them on the business with Tribe. He's on the Tribe album, and he dissed
right,
them.
right, right.
But then
F
they
them two
bring, yeah,
DJs. Yeah.
F them two DJs. But then they bring you in to replace him. Looking back, good or bad move on your part?
I was I think it was a good move, but I don't think they were prepared for my caliber MC. Like Large Professor, Mikey D, two totally opposite types of rappers. Large Professor, he's a talented producer and a talented writer, and he can write hit songs. I don't write hits. I write rhymes, man. I'm here to tear your neck off.
Got
You
you.
know what I mean? And Large Professor had a relationship with them as growing up, and knew the moms and all of that. So he was controllable. Like, you got to remember, these two guys are brothers, and their mother was the manager, and their
Mm.
mother was Sandra McKenzie's beautiful lady. I give her a lot of credit, but she was gangster. You know what I mean? And that's what that's all about. So, but as far as me now, the way it happened, I didn't know who I was getting involved with, because I was in what happened? I was in Florida for a little while, and then I came back to New York, and I was hanging out with my boy Mike Beasley. My man Mike Beasley eventually started managing me, and he has a cousin. They had Hush Productions in Manhattan, Bo Higgins, and one of them was married to Melba Moore, and they had
Okay.
this studio and office downtown. So we used to go down there and hang out. They had a grand piano downstairs, and cats used to bang on the table. And when I come through, I'd just be freestyling, just vibing out. So one day, my man Jeff Red, the singer, Remember Jeff
You
Red?
called
You
and told me.
called
Yeah.
and right.
And he did I
He
Found
heard
Lovin'
me.
too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he heard me rhyming down there, and Jeff was like, "Yo, you sound kind of dope." Blah blah blah. He said, "Yo, I know some DJ." No, he said, "I know a group that needs a rapper. These guys are already established. I'm not going to tell you who they are. I'm just going to give you their number. Here's the address, and I want you to meet up with them." Boom, boom. So the next day, me and Mike Beasley, we drove out there to Flushing, and it was Sir Scratch that answered the door. They were at this lady Tandy Weems' house. He was at Tandy Weems' house, and Sir Scratch is the one that answered the door, and he looked mad familiar. And I'm like, damn, why he look so familiar? And then he called his brother in Canada, which was K Cut. So I put two and two together. The name, Sir Scratch, K Cut. You see these main source dudes. And I auditioned or something like that for K Cut over the telephone. Just spit some rhymes. Now I didn't know that they knew who I was. This was almost like a full circle type thing because of the connection with Paul C. That's crazy. Because I didn't know them, and I didn't know Large Professor. I just knew their music. The music was dope, and I was like, yeah, this is an opportunity. And so they shipped me down to Canada to record the album.
Shipped you up to
So
Canada, you mean? He shipped you up.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
up to Canada.
Yeah.
So we actually did two albums.
Mm.
The first album that we did in Canada. Now it was so nice down there. I was not used to people saying good morning and smiling and all of this beautiful stuff. Like, what?
All of
And
this
then
niceness. Yeah.
yeah, it was too much for me, man. It was different from Southern hospitality. This was like some different, you know what I mean? So they wouldn't let me drink at the time. You know what I'm saying? I had to get my 40 to get in my zone. So let me get some type of beer so I can zone out. And these
Yeah.
guys, and when I came into the picture, these guys were already pressed for time for their second album. So now all of their pressure became my pressure. You know what I mean? We're
Because you
trying
got
to
it
beat
right.
the clock, and they're rushing me, and you know, Sir Scratch, he would stand over me, watching me while I'm writing, and I'm like, I can't work like this. So we recorded a couple of songs down there, and the label was like, nah, this ain't it. It's what happened to Mikey D. Like, you know what I mean? Bring him home. So when I came home, that's when we got busy because I got my fire back. Pop and Kim's was close. The 40s was
Got
there.
your
My
beer,
boys
yeah.
was there. You know what I mean? And yeah, we got busy. So we did the album F What You Think, and the single was dope. We had another joint on there called Set It Off, which it featured Jadakiss and Chic Luch before they changed their name to the Locks. They were the Warlocks.
Oh
So the
wow.
same way, yeah, the same way that Breaking Adams Live at the Barbecue introduced Nas, that's how we introduced the Warlocks. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Hip hop
But
history right here, y'all.
yeah. You could pull it up. Set It Off. Main source. Actually, Sha Queen was on there. She goes by the name of
Mar
Ma
Barker.
Barker now.
Mar Barker, G Rap
Yeah,
ex-wife. I'm a
that's
hip hop.
she.
Listen, I know everything hip hop, so you
Yep.
ain't gotta, yeah.
And my brother MC Lotto, Lot Picasso, he was on that too. But yeah, Jada Kiss and Sheik was on there. But so somehow the now I never signed to Wild Pitch. I signed to a production deal with Main Source. So the management had an issue with Wild Pitch or whatever. Now Wild Pitch already put all this money into the production, and they had plans and everything for us, man. The single was a success. What You Need Is the Source.
Yes.
They got us.
Loved it.
It got us on Soul Train.
Loved it.
I was one of the first rappers to because they let us host BET's Rap City, and they let me freestyle live, and I was like one of the first ones to freestyle, editing my own rhymes, without cursing and going live before the basement and before 106 in Park and all of that. You know what I mean? But management and Stu Fine and them had some type of conflict, and we had this press conference and Source Magazine, Fresh, Word Up. They were all at this table. And next thing you know, you hear all this commotion coming down the hallway. And it was Miss McKenzie. Where the fuck is Stu Fine? And blah, 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 this, that, and the other. We want to offer this fucking label and just going crazy. You know what I mean? And so I was like, yeah, whatever, man. You know, Search was there. Search could tell the story. It wasn't pretty, man. And you know, that's how that happened. So I wound up bouncing from that situation as well, man, because it just wasn't, you know, my thing. And, you know, I couldn't be controlled.
Did you realize that coming into the situation that you was gonna get certain criticism because Large Professor got so much love, and it was like almost like y'all replaced, you know, Extra P with him? Did you start feeling some of that pressure?
Well, I knew that was going to happen,
Okay.
but I always made it clear that, you know, that wasn't my plan to replace Large Professor. My plan was to add that Mikey D flavor to Main Source because, you know, even when people wanted me to disrespect Large Professor, which I could have, I would not take that route because that was not my beef. And I had nothing but respect and love for Large Professor.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't going that route. And who's to say that after that second album would have been successful, that Large Professor and me couldn't have, you know, talked and we all got together on one joint and just got busy, you know. So I wasn't going to put myself out there like that. But I always made it known that we're two different caliber rappers. I'm not trying to replace Large Professor. I was just bringing a Mikey D element to Main Source, and that's all it was. You know what I mean? No love lost. You know, they had beef. That wasn't my beef. So that's how that went. But you know, the funny thing about it is, and Large Professor cracked me up when he reminded me of this. Now he said when we were making the song that we were talking about earlier, I Get Rough.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the studio. He was learning from Paul C then. And I remember the young dude being in the studio and me and Johnny Quest is like, who the fuck is this young cat?
Yeah.
We didn't know him then. You see what I'm saying? So while we were in our element, Large Professor witnessed it.
He was
You know what
already
I'm
there,
saying?
yeah.
And then full circle. Like I said, Paul C was a part of my group. I met Paul C through the Clientele Brothers, and I was a part of their group. It's just, and then Main Source and Paul C is Large Pro's mentor. That's, you know what I mean?
Crazy. 6 Degrees.
Insane. Yeah.
Paul C's murder was unsolved, right?
Unsolved. Yeah.
Damn,
I
unfortunate.
think they might have caught somebody.
Okay.
They might have caught somebody, but that was senseless, man. That's what made me take a hiatus, man, because it happened in the middle of us doing our LA Posse album. You know, we were getting sued by the other LA Posse, and Sleeping Bag didn't want to, you know, represent us because they didn't want to go up against the machine of Def Jam. You know what I mean? So they wanted us to change our name again.
Who was in the LA Posse from the West Coast? Who was in there? I'm trying to think of who was it?
They were producers. I think MC Breed or something like that.
Not MC Breed was from. Nah, MC Breed was a rapper from Well, MC Breed was from the Midwest, and he made the Ain't No Future in Your Frontin'. Damn.
Yeah.
That's MC. That he was in the group. I'm about to say, yeah, if you could Google real quick, because I'm trying to think. Yeah, like Google real quick, because I'm trying to think of who was in the LA Posse. Was that
It was the producers. It was Daryl. Bobcat was from the LA
Bobcat.
Posse.
That's who was. See, and look, Bobcat also was intertwined with LL Cool J.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
So that's why I thought it was a riff, because of Bobcat, LA Posse, and Bobcat, because you know Bobcat is he's from over here, but he moved out there. No, he's from out there. He's from out there. He moved out here. He moved to New York for a little while.
Bobcat came to me in Johnny Quest's hotel room when we had a show out in Cali. And actually, matter of fact, we had a song out called Out of Control and Coming in the House. We went to Cali. Easy and Troop was our opening act.
That's
which
Craig Mack.
later became
That's
Craig
Craig
Mack.
Mack. Easy E
Right.
and Troop. Yep.
So what's his name? Bobcat came to our hotel room then and met us. It was all love, you know. It was cool. But then the next thing we know, we getting sued by Dwayne and Daryl. Those are the main two producer guys. Now, check this out. And I'm gonna send you the link later on. I
Mm-hmm.
found an interview with one of the brothers from the LA Posse. He told me, I mean, he explained how they got their name. Now, this is crazy. Now, mind you, we were already out doing our thing before they came on the set.
Mm-hmm.
He said they were driving on the West Side Highway with Jam Master Jay.
Mm.
Jam Master Jay said to them, y'all need a name because y'all a crew. Y'all from Los Angeles, but y'all ain't got no name. They didn't want to be the LA crew or whatever. So Jam Master suggested LA Posse.
And he didn't know who y'all was. He
Now,
had to know who y'all
mind
was, right?
we had to because Hollis crew, LA Posse, everybody in Queens knew. You see what I'm saying? Now on this clip, he also said, Cool J said, you know there's another LA Posse out there, right? What y'all gonna do about it? Like, yo, I said, yo. So guess what? We wound up getting sued. Sleeping Bag would not support the case because I know what that's about. They didn't have that Columbia money that Def Jam had back then. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't want to get involved with that. So as that was going on, we were just wrapping up our album, and then Paul C gets murdered in his sleep, in his own house, in his sleep. This brother never had beef with nobody. I never even seen Paul C get mad.
So it wasn't MC Breed. It was MC Breeze, you said, right?
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah,
One of them.
Breeze. Yeah, Breeze. Okay.
Yeah. But
Wow.
yeah, so that's
Rest in peace to
that's
Paul
that.
C too. Definitely like his production and what he brought to the table. And he definitely was definitely a part of hip hop history in so many ways. So at one point Main Source does a reunion at SOBs, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And how did that go?
It was it was all right. It was
Okay.
cool, man. Well, put it this way. There was so much energy in the air, different energies coming from everywhere, that I just, I just stood back and analyzed the whole situation, man, because you got K Cut, coming from Canada, you know, you got Large Professor in Queens, he's still with the crew, Neek, my man Neek and all of them, you know what I'm saying? And Large Professor and K Cut hadn't spoken face to face since that breakup. You know what I'm saying? So these two brothers had real beef between each other. Me, I just try to be the big brother of both of them and, try to bring all of that together.
Whoa. So they first time speaking is at the show?
Like prior to the show, yeah.
Wow.
They finally met. It wasn't none of this, but these mother effers had hate for each other, for real, but they got past that, which was a good thing, and then, so the reunion, the reunion was kind of dope. They was doing the Mass Appeal filming the same time for Just Blaze, and,
Okay.
but it was all right, man. It was all right.
So you got a chance to
say,
rock. You got a chance to rock too.
Yeah, I did a little something.
Okay. So was it so again, the nostalgia of Main Source. When we think Main Source, they put out this classic album, Breaking Atoms, which featured Live at the Barbecue, Looking at the Front Door, Watch Roger Do His Thing. So many classic, introduced Nas, Akinelli, Joe Fatal. So we know, so when they're rocking this, the crowd is like, we know this. So when you come to do your part, are people like, what the hell is going on? What just happened?
Nah. All I did was what you need is the sauce.
Okay, yeah, that's
All
what
I,
I'm saying. Yeah, you didn't have no set, right? Like they probably,
yeah. I
yeah.
ain't do no whole set or
Okay,
none of
okay,
that. You know, if it was overseas, it would have been a different story. But
got you.
at home, they know all of that main source stuff. So I let them have that, man. I would have rather them let me come up there and do a LA Posse set and then branch into the main source thing, man. But don't throw me out there
Yeah.
with the
That's what I'm
main
saying.
source.
Don't put
Yeah,
me
don't.
out there because
Yeah,
because
yeah.
because the
But it
original
was
member
cool.
is here. Yeah, but I'm glad that even when they do a reunion, they keep you a part of the
Yeah,
culture because you added on. You
I carried the torch, man.
got you. Oh yeah, friendly game of baseball too. No, I mean the Breaking Adams album is
The
it
whole
is what
album
it.
was dope.
But see, even after that, we got Faking the Funk. You know what I'm saying? Like we had records that was just so incredible from main source. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Shout out to everybody in the chat room too. I see y'all. I want to acknowledge y'all, but when you building and you in this interview mode, we in it. We deep. We in the trenches. And this man, like I said, me growing up in hip hop, uh, I definitely knew who he was from what he did, and what I want y'all to know about my job and reason why my hobby is my job, so I don't feel like I'm working, is that I have men like this that watch me, and then I
right,
want to tell him, yo, I watched you. So when they acknowledge me, this is what I do it all for. And then I get to speak to my heroes and sheroes of hip hop that was out way before me and did so much before me. And then we just get to build and kick it and they get to educate me on. So it helps enhance my hip hop knowledge base. You know what I'm saying? So that's
word.
why I love talking to a lot of veterans and people who put it down. So uh you had Def Jam. What other label was after you at a time?
Yo, believe it or not. All right, check this out. I'm gonna give you a rundown. The first record I ever made was on. You remember Nia Records?
Nia, no. I ain't even going front. I don't know that. Who else was on there?
Nia. Actually, Molly Marlon Shan's first record came out on Nia. NIA.
But I thought that was like a bootleg type pressing thing.
Yeah,
So
The Alims.
okay.
Um,
I don't know who that
they
is
were
though.
on it. Well, whatever.
Okay.
So the first record I did was with the Clientele Brothers, and that's when Jesse Jackson was running for president. I
Wow.
was young. You know what I'm saying? That was one label. Then the next record that I did. Now, do you remember when Dougie Fresh came out with the show?
Yes.
Do you remember three young ladies called the Symbolic Three? They had a record called No Show.
No, only thing I really remember was the showstopper, and that was salt and
Yeah.
pepper. But they wasn't
Well,
they wasn't even salt and pepper then.
they was Supernature,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
We had a record out the same time as them. You gotta look on YouTube at Symbolic 3, and it's featuring me on. I wrote it. Anyway, that was on Reality Records too, because Jerry Bloodrock, the person that put out the show, he thought it would be dope to have an Answer record come out on the same label.
Mm.
So they had me do that, you know what I mean? And then after the Symbolic 3, we went to Public Records. Public Records was an independent label. That's where we dropped My Telephone, and we did I Get Rough. Then Sleeping Bag Records signed us, and we got signed with them off the strength of my battle
I
capabilities. My
know
battle,
Sleeping Bag because this is EPMD.
right?
This is
EPMD,
Just Ice.
Just Ice. That's
Steezo,
right.
rest in peace. Steezo, rest in peace. Oh man, Steezo, rest in
Yeah,
peace.
Steve's.
You know
Yep.
what's funny about Steezo? I had reached out to Steezo to do an interview years ago because let me just segue really quick into something else. When
Yeah.
You Got to Chill came out, EPMD is my favorite group of all time, right? But it was
Right.
this guy dancing in the video, and I was like, what is
Yep.
he doing? And the dances was so fire. Come to find out, this is Steezo. And then Steezo gets a record deal, and he does It's My Turn, and he does Freak the Funk. And then
Yep.
it's the In My Turn video, he does the same dance. The dance he did was called the RoboCop, right?
Right.
And
Right.
and then he does Freak the Funk. Now when Freak the Funk comes out, I'm like 12 years old and I'm starting to be a DJ.
Right.
So I used to cut that record all day, Freak the Funk. So that's how I knew what Steezo was. But continue.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, I rest in peace, Steezo, man.
Yeah,
Rest in
yeah.
peace,
Steve's
Steezo.
was cool as hell, man. But so what happened was my wife just walked in and scared the hell out
Yeah,
of me.
yeah,
Yo,
yeah, yeah.
gotta excuse the jump. But so Mantronics was big on sleeping bag at the time, and
Yes.
Mantronics wanted to snatch me up. I think something between him and Tricky T. Tricky T wasn't coming to the sessions or whatever. He wanted to put some more stuff out. He wanted to put me down with Mantronics. This was before. Remember when Bryce Wilson was down?
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So me and Bryce,
yes.
yeah. That's my man too. But prior to Bryce, Mantronics tried to get me down. So he told Virgil Sims and all of them how nice I was with the battling and all of this, that, and the other, and how he wanted me to be down with them. But at the time, I already had Paul C. So I couldn't leave Paul C for Mantronics. So what wound up happening is they signed us to our own deal, and to test my battling abilities, they entered me into the 1988 New Music Seminar. And I took that home, you know what I mean? And let them know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You still got the
that
belt somewhere?
now that belt got destroyed with Hurricane Andrew out in
Oh,
Florida,
damn.
man.
Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah,
You gotta have to duplicate that because
I've been trying to get in touch with what's his name? Tom Silverman.
okay, yeah, Tommy Boy. Yep.
Yeah, because he's the one that got the belt made. I needed to know where he got it made from. But
Yeah.
that was that. And then after Sleeping Bag, where did I go? Magnum Records. Magnum Records was in Miami because I
Mm.
went down there and I tried to switch it up a little bit. I came out with a record called Put Your Body in Motion with my boy TC. We called him CeeLo, and I was Cordless Mike to try to
Mm.
switch it up because back at that time, Miami, they wasn't really with the hardcore New York vibe. So,
Mm-hmm.
we had to do some party bass music type stuff. And we was always hanging out at Luke had a club down there that we used to always hang out at, and we used to perform and under aliases, this, that, and the other. So Luke was gonna sign us, but the lawyer that we hired to read the contracts over, what the hell was his name? Jonathan Black wound up starting a label, and he put us out because he liked the music that much and whatever. So we went with that. So that was Magnum Records, and then after that it was Wild Pitch. But really, I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
sign the Wild Pitch. I was with Main Source, and then what happened after that? I was with a group called Ambush, just rapping. uh, that was about it. And then, things started going independent.
Yes, yes. So throughout your career, I mean, who's your top 5 Queens MCs?
My top five, see, now, I base my top five off of skills, off of inspiration, those who inspired me.
Got you.
So my top five is a little biased. And
I
it's,
still want to hear it though. I still want to hear it.
excuse me, Grandmaster Caz.
Okay. Queen, he's not from Queens. I said from Queens
No, he's
first.
not from Queens.
But you throwing him in there.
Oh no! Oh, you want my top
I
five
want
Queens? I thought you
Queens.
said
No, I
my
want
top
Queens,
five.
and then we could do top 5. But I want to do, being that Shan did his top 5 from Queens, I want
Yeah,
to hear your top 5
yeah,
from
yeah,
Queens.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I definitely put L in there.
Is he one? Is he one?
There's no particular order,
Okay.
but he's up there though, because
Okay.
I know the real lyrical
You know,
prowess
you know
of
Jay
him.
Ski.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, so you got LL Cool J, definitely. Coogee Rap, come on, man.
I
Me and
would put,
him.
see me personally. He would be my number one. But that's you know, it's your thing, you know, because it's on you.
Right. Well, I remember I teased Coogee Rap at one point when I first met him. Me and him, we sparred. We
Okay.
sparred. You know.
What year was this though? Because G Rap is a assassin. And what year was this y'all sparred?
This had to be like maybe 85.
Oh no, that's when he was. Because when
Yeah.
did you ever hear his version of Raw with Kane?
What, when they just rhyming mad
Yeah,
long?
but it's to the Raw beat though. But Kane kicked the Raw rounds, but G Rap is on there too.
Yeah, he went crazy. Me and G Rap battled in front of his crib, man. Me and Johnny Quest was out in Corona, you know what I mean? And I was the type of dude, I'd go to the corner store, whatever, buy 40, ask
40,
everybody
right?
who the dopest MC around here, who the hottest MC
All
around
right,
here.
when
I'll
you say
battle
40,
anybody.
what kind of 40? Was it the old gold?
Oh, gold, man.
Do you
Old
never mess
English
with the
gold.
odds?
Eventually I did, but I didn't
It was
like the
2 for
St. Ives
$3,
too.
so I ain't gonna front. I was doing.
So yeah, I was with the old English,
Hold up,
man.
so was you doing the 40s or was you doing the courts at first? Remember the old
Well,
English?
at first, yeah, I was drinking courts before the 40s came out. Yeah. But when
Yeah.
the
Yeah, it
courts,
was the
man, it was
courts,
a
the
dollar
old
20,
gold, yeah.
$1.25 at Pop and Kim's, man.
Yeah.
But
So it was the courts. And then I think 40s now is in plastic bottles. So I'm
they
glad I don't drink
plastic,
for.
yeah, because
Yeah, we
people was
can't.
getting busted.
Yeah, because the 40s was a weapon too. Remember, you drink the 40 and somebody was getting rocked with that after after you drink the 40. If somebody got crazy, they got rocked with that bottle. But that's a whole nother subject. So all right, we got LL, we got Coogee Rap. We need 3 more.
We gotta put Nas on there. I love
Okay.
Nas. Yo, let's throw Shan back in there, man, because
I'm
Shan
not
gave
mad
it
at
up.
that. I'm not mad at that. I am not mad at that.
Shan gave it up. And
I'm
there's somebody, and it's at the tip of my tongue. Oh my God. You know what? Gotta give it to my man Lotto, man. A lot of people
okay.
don't know. He inspired me a lot, man. So I gotta give it to Lotto.
I'm not mad at that. I can't besides Lotto, I can't really say I know who he is, but MC Shan, I gotta get Shan on here because
Yeah,
damn man, the bridge
yeah.
to this day, man,
That's
to this
yeah,
day. So I'm not mad at that list. That's a solid list. With me, I definitely love LL, Coogee Rap,
yep,
Nas,
yep.
and I love Tragedy Gaddafi. I love
Oh,
Trage,
Trash.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Trash is back.
Trage. And even though Prodigy is from Long Island, he rep Queens to the death. So I definitely Queens, y'all have a lot of people, but I definitely love Prodigy too. But Trage, me personally, I always put Trage over Nas, but people be thinking I'm bugging. But I just think Trage was the first one with that sort of style as a little kid. People don't realize
Yeah,
Tragedy was a little kid.
yeah,
He
yeah,
was a
yeah, yeah.
little
Arrest the
kid.
president and all of that.
That's what I'm saying. Even before then,
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
he was the intelligent hoodlum first.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. And the killer kids. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Trage was, yeah, I love that. But okay, so your top five of all time, who would that be?
Well, like I said, I based this off of inspiration and skills and how they inspired me to become who I am right now. And hands down, it's Grandmaster Caz, Kumo D, Grandmaster Caz, Kumo D, LL Cool J, Will Seville, and Eddie OJ. Will
Who's Will
Seville and
Seville? I
Eddie
don't know who that is. I don't know who
Will
they.
Seville and Eddie OJ are the clientele brothers, man.
Got
These
you.
are the
Okay.
guys. Like when I spit and the way that I act and my whole aura is a combination of Will Seville and Eddie OJ.
Got you.
Like my swag is, I would say that came Eddie OJ rubbed off on me.
Got you.
My word play, that Will Seville rubbed off on me. So it's like those two, and these are the Clientele brothers. When these guys taught me how to, to write in song modes and break the bars down and stop saying and and cuz and all of that. Yeah, these dudes, yeah, hands down.
Could for one second, if you can, because you are MC, you know lyrics, you know rhymes, you know cadence, you know style. Could we put some respect on Kool Moe D's name for a minute? Why was Kool Moe D so dope?
Because he was an alien, man.
Yeah, but
I'll
I be telling people. Because people see the Wild Wild West and all that, but they don't know he was giving L a run for his money too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Kool Moe D was. Yeah.
Kool Moe D was nasty. He still is.
Yeah. You know what one of my favorite Kool Moe D raps that people don't know is the Christmas rap from B Street. Oh my God. I love that rap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Ho, 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 open up your door. Yeah, I love.
Yo, yeah. I like when he self-destruction.
Oh.
Took the brother's life with a knife as his wife cried because he died.
Yeah. I never ever ran from the Ku Klux Klan. I shouldn't have to run from a black man. That was that was it. So let me ask you something. How come we never seen you with all these collaborations, with all of these all these songs with all these artists? Because I'm pretty sure you knew a lot of these rappers. How come we never seen you really do a bunch of songs?
Well, at that particular time, the artists weren't as accessible as they are now.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? If you I'm gonna send it to you, man, because I got an album called Day of Destruction.
Is it out or is not? Is it out yet? It's not out yet.
Well, it was out for a short period of time, but the distribution company that I was dealing with at the time didn't give it its proper just due, so I had them pull it off of all of the platforms, and now I have a position where I have my own distribution company.
Okay.
Pass the torch, where I have access to all of the major streaming platforms where I can put it out myself. So I'm about to re-release it under my platform with a new bonus track with me and Lush One from King of the Dot. But
oh wow,
this album features I did a joint with Cannabis. We got a joint called Back to Back. I did a joint with Chris Rivers is on my joint.
I know who that is. Yeah.
I got a joint with Mellow Man Ace from California.
We follow each other. That's Sin Dog brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got a joint with him. Grandmaster Caz is introducing the whole thing. I got some joints. Oh, I got a joint with Craig G. It's me, Craig G, Cannabis, and R.A. the Rugged Man. So, you know what I mean?
Shout out to that's all my people too.
Word. I'm getting ready to work on something with Grandmaster Caz and them as well. So, I mean, now that everybody's accessible and, now you're going to see, it's never too late, bro. It's never too late, man.
Gotcha.
Talent don't have expiration date.
So hold on. Somebody says Super Lover C is from Queens?
Yeah.
Oh, no. See, I got to put him. I didn't know that. I always, for some reason, because I think when they did, Super Mellow Man Ace and Sin Dog from Cypress Hill is brothers. Yes. Y'all didn't know that? Where y'all been? That's their brothers. Yes. So, I never knew. I always thought, I think because they shot a video back in the days by Red Hook. I always thought, now Super Lover C is up there for me, man. That was like one of my favorite. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's my man. You got him on Facebook?
Yeah, I've been trying to interview Super Lover C and Casanova Rud for so long, man.
Fredericks. I'll pass the information.
Yes. I need that. I remember, this is crazy. I remember them coming to a party around my way. And they older than me, but I remember I was just in the street. Wow, I was off mad 40s at this time. And I was like, yo, this Super Lover C and Casanova Rud, anybody mess with them, I'm knocking you out. Now they older than me. I'm mad little, but I just like, yo, this is Super Lover C and Casanova Rud. Like I definitely, and then they came out with a song called Romeo later on. And I used to cut that song all day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, I was, cause Girls I Got 'Em Locked. Nas started a song like that. Girls are got a lock so similar to a prism. When Nas say that in a rhyme, he's talking about Super Lover C and Casanova Rush. So if y'all could do the James, Girls I Got Them Locked, it's they had so many Super Casanova. They had so
Yeah,
many
super. Yep.
Super Casanova. They had so many bangers. Do the James,
Yep.
y'all might know it as Biggie's Dreams, but they was the first person to use that James. Dun, 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 dun. They was the first
Mm-hmm.
person to use that with Impeach
Yep.
the President drums. So
That's a fact.
if y'all could look up Super Lover C and Casanova Rudd, fire. Girls that got them locked. So I always
Yep.
thought, I always claimed them from Brooklyn. So one of them got to be from Brooklyn, I think, and maybe it's
Nah,
Casanova Rudd.
Casanova Rod is from what is that? St. Albans? No, not St. Albans. Cambria Heights.
Wow, yo, so I stole them in my heart and was like, they from Brooklyn. Yo, I always thought they was from Brooklyn, bro. I always thought they was from Red Hook. I always thought they was from Red Hook. So, wow, man,
Well, they
damn.
might have moved around, man. You
That's
never
what I'm
know,
saying,
bro.
because
They could have moved around.
but yeah, that's that part of hip hop, man. They unsung heroes too, because they had bangers. And this is me as a little kid getting into DJing. And I
Right.
remember they record was red and everything. And then
Right.
I just remember, man, and yo, they was spitting. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
And
Soup had that cadence that nobody could match.
look, they was
He
so
had a
crazy that I couldn't tell the difference between them two. I didn't know when Casanova Rudd came in sometimes. Remember, they used to sound like one at one point. Remember,
I thought Rudd was the DJ. Oh
Now
no,
Run
he
on
rhymes
stuff.
too. That's right.
Yeah, so
That's right.
I couldn't tell who was who sometimes. They sounded so similar, but they was, man, damn.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna give you those contacts, man.
Yes,
Both of them.
I need that. That's when I think about hip hop, and I think about when I was growing up, because this is Video Music Box. Shout out to Ralph McDaniels, the father of all media.
Salute.
Yeah, shit. I bow to that man every time I
Yeah.
see him. He laughs every time, but I always tell him, yo, you had me going in the house. And I was outside fighting Decepticons and doing all types of crazy stuff as a little kid, throwing people out the bus window. Facts. Because remember the city bus windows used to push out.
Yeah.
They used to push out. So we was throwing people out the window, doing all types of crazy stuff. And it was like, yo, what time is it? Oh, VMB coming on. Yo, we get y'all later. So, shout out to Ralph. And so what I wanted to know, was it a point in time where you fell out of love with hip hop?
Absolutely, man. There's been several different times that I fell out of love with it, man. Because of all of the politics. The first time I fell out of love with it was, when the unfortunate, untimely death of Paul C happened, and hip hop was taking a turn, toward the gangster rap, and everybody was glorifying guns and drugs, and that just wasn't my thing, And then it's like I fall out of love and then I fall back in love with it. It's like we got that love-hate relationship, man. You know what I'm saying? Right now I'm back in love with it,
Okay.
but the politics at time is just so crazy, man. That's why I'm glad to have my own platform where I can take advantage of it and, help some other brothers out, man. You know what I mean? And sisters and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely got a love-hate relationship with hip hop.
Was it a point where you started seeing stuff in hip hop that you was like, what's going on? Dudes is wearing dresses and lipstick. Did you ever wonder what the hell was going on?
Yeah. But me, I'm a thinker. I'm an overthinker, actually. That's why I be having panic attacks, because I think too damn much, man. But you can
talking
see
my
through.
language now, because I used to, I used to try to say to people, you see the Matrix lines? That's my brain all day, and sometimes I have to slow it down because I'm just on to the next one. Look, you could tell the people, like, when you called me when we did our sound check.
Yeah.
I'm editing graphics right while we're talking, and I'm showing you this is what I'm doing here.
Yeah, that's a
I'm like
fact.
multitasking, doing mad things at one time because that's how my brain just operates. And sometimes I have to slow it down, or or it just I'm in disarray. But I have to just really, I have to keep going. So when you said you
Hmm.
was an overthinker, when you started seeing like the lipstick and
Yeah,
different things,
I peeped that. But see, you know, these artists, see, that's what people mean by selling your soul. They don't
yes,
literally mean selling your soul to the devil, but the soul of the music, man. You'll do anything for $1, man. Like, and the labels and the industry, the machine pushes that. You know what I mean? They push that agenda. So the ones that are really talented, they always get pushed to the side. The real ones always get pushed to the side, man. That's why, you know, I'm glad it's an independent type of thing now, man, because like I said, even young, I couldn't be controlled.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I'd
yeah,
be
yeah.
damn if I let my integrity outweighs my talent. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna just do anything for $1. But I see a lot of people will, man. That's like a lot of the rappers, my age, trying to follow what the young cats is doing. I mean, it's nothing is wrong with what the young cats is doing. But when a 53-year-old is trying to be like a 21-year-old, there's a problem there, man. You're supposed to lead by example, not follow, so
hmm Um,
it's just crazy, man.
how do you operate and still navigate through the business without people calling you old and bitter?
Well, the one thing that I do is I embrace the the younger generation. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? I don't necessarily agree with everything that they're doing, but I understand because I was once that young guy. You know what I'm saying? That the older guys look down upon. You know what I'm saying? Um, we have to embrace them. It's all about education and not separation. Because I just, you know what I do? I stay in my lane. Just like uh let's say, all right, you got people that say, I hate this new music.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Now, you still got people, you got the younger audience has parents. The parents were raised on our type of music. All I do is supply them with what they want to hear. But I don't stay stuck back then when I was 21. I'm not 53 trying to spit what I was spitting when I was 21 because my brain is fully developed now. I have so much more to talk about and I just share it. You know what I mean? It's like a new Mikey D, but I'm not trying to be young.
Got you.
You know
What
what I mean?
did you have was you a writer or was you able to freestyle?
The 40s helped me freestyle a lot, but I'm definitely a writer. Me and LL Cool J used to walk around, and my man Mark Miller, we used to walk around with bags and bags and bags full of rhymes, B.
Mm.
So I'm definitely a writer. The freestyle thing, I kind of lost that when I put the 40s down. But if I get my back pushed up against the wall, I'm sure I could spit some fire.
So right now, if the audience that's like, who is this? Who is he to talk about Vlad? Vlad has 4 million. What could they hear or see from you right now, whether it's past or present, that they could get familiarized with you musically?
Then they could just all they gotta do is Google me. Just Google,
Because
just
somebody
ask
else
your
named
smart.
Mikey D, right? It's somebody
But
else named Mikey D.
man, there's a bunch of Mikey D's, but what you got to do is you got to ask your phone who is the real Mikey D. And when you ask your phone that question, the first thing that's going to come up, it's going to say, I think it's an article from Oxy, and it's going to say the best rapper you never heard of.
Wow.
I guarantee you.
Dead serious?
Ask your phone who is the real Mikey D.
Wow. Wow. Are
That's
you
a fact.
I'm about to my iPhone is over there. But they could look at the main source joint.
Forgot about. People
Yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah.
comments might have to remind me of. We might have to do a part 2 and 3.
Oh no, definitely. So also one of the big things is Mikey D LA Posse. They definitely should look that up. Mikey D,
Mikey
LA
D and the
Posse.
LA Posse.
Mikey D.
Absolutely. That's
Okay.
with Paul C, man, and DJ Johnny Quest.
Got you. Got you. So give them your social media.
Oh man. You could let's see on Instagram and Twitter, the real underscore Mikey D.
Okay.
On Facebook, Michael Deering, Deering. Or I got a group page too, Mikey D. You can check out Pass the Torch. That's our distribution company.
Okay.
I got TikTok too. That's the real underscore Mikey D. But
Okay.
yeah, that's basically it.
But I'm gonna tell you, I ain't getting no sweater, I ain't getting no shirt or nothing. So I gotta send you a dress. I need some merch because I like to support people's stuff on these podcasts too. So I need one to pass the torch. I need one to pass the torch shirts. I need a hat. I need all the paraphernalia. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I got the dope pass the torch joint for you, man.
Yeah.
What size you are? What size you wear?
I'm a large, but I like to wear XL shirts. I'm only
man,
a large.
You sound like me, man.
Yeah. Because I ain't wearing no mediums. Like I'm a
no
large.
Mediums, man.
Like this shirt right here. This shirt right here is a large, but I still like to. I don't know. I gotta wear something a little. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Around. I can't be raising my arm and the sleeve come all the way down here. We not doing that. You know what I'm saying? We not doing that. So so man, I want to thank you for coming through. We finally got this done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you have more music coming out soon too. Tell them about that.
Yeah. I'm gonna send you everything, man, because I sent you the little video clip.
Yes, you
right?
did. Yes, you did.
Oh, yes, I got some stuff to send you, man. And I know you still DJing, man. We need to talk about doing something.
We gonna work this again. This year is the year that I have I'm not holding nothing back. Everything that I know how to do, everything that I do, like I said, 2020, people revealed to me who they were, good, bad, and indifferent. And 2021, I'm going to show the world who I really am and what I really know how to do. So you see me doing graphics, you see me doing interviews.
Yeah.
And people from my last interview started hitting me like, yo, I found your music on YouTube. And I'm like, yeah, I really, I produced for Smith and Wesson. I did a lot of stuff. So, right now, my thing is just to really, really just put my all, because the way life is long, but it also could be short, and I would hate to expire from this plane without the world fully understanding and knowing who I am. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm more than just a guy who do interviews. So
that's right.
It is what it is. So make sure y'all follow him on all social media. Give him to one more time, just in case they walked in the room, because they should have been here. Go ahead.
Yo, Instagram and Twitter is the real underscore Mikey D. Facebook, you can follow me by my government, Michael Deering, Deering. And TikTok, the real underscore Mikey D.
I'm on Mikey. I'm on TikTok too, but I don't use it because I be seeing a lot of weird stuff. So I'll be like, man, I can't.
Well, all I do is I just post video clips, man, of music, man.
Yeah,
I'm not with all of the.
And I implore everybody, if you are an artist or any creative person, get on all the social media platforms and just secure your name, because you never know if you want to use it, but you don't want to have to put the real Mikey D. So with me, anything come out, I'm on there for Doggie Diamonds, because I seen people Doggie Diamond, I seen people DOGGY. I'm like, I even seen another dude on YouTube. I won't even mention his name, but his name is so similar to mine. People could ask me, who is this guy? I'm like, I don't know, man.
He gets no props.
Yeah, he gets no play in this ride. But
that's a fact,
bro. We have each other's information. We're Facebook friends, and you definitely come in the chat often and support when I do other things. You share other things that I do, so I appreciate you.
Definitely.
So this is one for the books. This is one of many. So when you drop this project, I want to come back and maybe we could do like a live review and go through each track for the audience and just go through the stuff. And but one more favor. I never ask people to do this.
All right.
Could I get a 16 before you go?
All right. Let's see. Let's take a trip back in time. Before I had a dime, I was steady writing rhymes. Biting was a crime. Shakespeare of the ghetto. Stage Montebello. If the DJ wasn't cutting, I was rocking a cappella. Stayed high, stayed fly. All the ladies waved high. Had to have a 40 ounce. Couldn't let a day by. Fuck a text. Give me a book and a pen. Cause back then I was leaving rappers shook. Whoop. And I played for fun. Had a lot of dreams, but getting paid wasn't one. Real recognized real Johnny Quest was on the wheels. He ain't blending what's trending. I spit what I feel. Act like you know who I am. You can Google Mikey D. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, because that's my thing. Yeah, I come from out of Queens, but you looking at a king. And I'm far from a rookie, from the haves and have-nots to empire with the cookie. Certified OG. People notice me now. I'm old school. A kitchen phone with the rotary dial. Had to pray because me and God ain't spoken a while. Geico and Progressive got a quote for me now.
Mm.
These cats is ass backwards. And that's what keeps me in a different tax bracket. I'm multitasking while they popping multi-aspirins. Got to watch the culture volters. And I'm dropping salty has-beens. Because they cry like a newborn. And stay hating. What type of shit is you on? Too much for one. I got to take a few on. Rhyme so tight I got to write with a shoehorn. I'll kill all that shit you spit. Because even if I dumb it down, my nigga, this is what you get. Doggie Diamonds, baby.
Yo,
We in the building.
I thank you, Mikey D in the building, Queens. Are you a legend?
Allegedly.
Okay, yeah. Because I don't like being called a legend, so I don't like it.
I'm living proof, man.
Okay, yeah. So Mikey D, I thank you for coming through. Thank you for
thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah. We finally got it done.
But
could you tell the other artists out there how easy I am to get in contact and how I keep my word? How I keep my word too. We set a day, we set a time.
That's real. He's real as they come, man. Just
texting you,
just
bro.
Texting
you. We doing the sound check this day. Yep. We not playing because we have to really put on for this culture. We have to educate the youth. So even for the new guys who's watching, this is one of the men who definitely put on for Queens, who influenced a lot of your favorite Queens rappers. And yeah, so I again, y'all know my mantra. If somebody made one song or kicked 10 bars that I love, they deserve to be on my platform because he definitely is a part of my growing up in hip hop and I could remember. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I thank you for coming through. I'm going to sign you out and close out the show. Thank you for being here. I'll text you later on. Peace.
All right. Peace and blessings.
All right. Yep. Peace. All right, y'all. So, another one for the books. I appreciate everybody who's here. I appreciate everybody who stuck around. That was Mikey D, somebody who definitely put on for hip hop and who did a lot for the culture early on. And sometimes I just be feeling like a lot of men don't get their just due. This is what my platform is for. Yeah, we could have new artists. We could have artists that's out right now, and then we could have artists who paved the way. And he's definitely he told us tonight that LL Cool J's first name was Jay Ski. So if y'all follow LL Cool J, say, yo, I heard your rap name was Jay Ski. So this is what these interviews is about. Hip hop, history, giving you jewels and stuff that we didn't know. I got this hat right here from Nims. Nims_FYL. This is the Fuck Your Life brand. I got it directly. Most of the hats and stuff that I get, you see me with, comes directly from the hands of a lot of the artists. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people, they show me love because I show them love. Yeah, so this hat comes from Nims. Nims has so much merch. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is the Tupac tattoo too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I got this from Nims. I wore this in a few interviews because I love this hat. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I'm Doggie Diamonds. I thank y'all for joining me. Everybody here, before you go or when you go, can you please just hit the like button? When you hit the like button, it helps us go into the algorithm. It goes, it helps boost these videos into suggested videos and stuff like that. So that helps me when you hit the when you hit the like button. Also, hold on 1 second. I want to show y'all oh yeah, that was something else. I have the promo too. You know, if you need promo info at Doggie Diamonds TV, hit me up. I'm gonna do that. But also remember, tomorrow night I'll be back with somebody else. I'm not playing. I'm going live. If I gotta go live and interview people 30 days in a month, that's what I'm doing, because I'm just on a whole different run, whole different tier. Go back and watch the previous interviews I did. Play catch up. Y'all, you know, we snowed in, you know what I'm saying? So watch some of the interviews. Even if somebody else is on, somebody else is live and you're watching them, and you rather watch them at the time, I just burped, pardon me, and you rather watch them, I have no issue with that. Just make sure you hit the thumbs up on my videos, you leave a nice comment, and go back and watch some of the other interviews that I put out, because it's going to be a lot going on that you can't even, you after a while you're going to be you're going to have to play catch up. So why are you going to say I hope Tupac estate get paid off that hat for a tattoo? Come on, man. Like, it's a tribute. Anyway, y'all be weird. But I hope Tupac estate get. Who is Tupac's estate? Tell me that. Who is his estate? I'm not gonna go on a tangent or a rant. I'm just gonna be quiet and enjoy the rest of my night. But yeah, it is what it is, man. I'll holler at y'all later on. Peace. Make sure you click subscribe, youtube.com/. I didn't have the audio up, but this is instructions. At the end of this, follow the instruction. Make sure you click subscribe, youtube.com/Doggie Diamonds TV. Till next time, peace.